Hello, we're back here at White River Cinema in St Austell with Will. How you doing, Will?
Not too bad yourself?
Yeah, really well. Standing in for Nathan, or sitting in
Yes.
for Nathan, I should say.
I've
Yeah.
upgraded today. Yeah.
Well, I always think so. I always think so. So yeah, how's things been? We're sort of kind of now well into the new year.
We are, yeah. Got January out the way, so it's often a very quiet time.
Yeah.
At the best of times, January for cinemas is always like you have that peak for Christmas and like New Year. Everyone comes up celebrating, and then January is always.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but a lot of the sort of fluff kind of gets dropped in January sometimes, ready for February.
Yeah, it's been some good films.
Yeah.
But not your big draw films.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Unusually, we had Scream released in the middle of January, which is done okay, but it was a very odd time to
release a horror film.
Yes, yeah. Everyone said that. Why did they bring it out for Halloween? Like they should have rushed it through for last Halloween.
Yeah.
Or saved it for the next Halloween.
Yeah. Sat on it. Yeah.
I even said like save it for Valentine's Day because people probably would
course.
go on that. As
yeah.
Scary film.
Have a horror film on Valentine's. Yeah. Absolutely.
Jump in your partner's lap because you get scared and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
Well, not quite screaming, singing. Sing 2, I guess, is the big sort of animated musical number. The first one did very well, so obviously why they're getting a sequel.
Yeah, took me a little bit by surprise because I thought it would do well. Animation and kids' films always do well for us. And it was released, and the first weekend was packed out. It was really, really popular, so they had to do a sequel. It's been a bit of a gap, but you've got a great cast, great songs. They mix like actors and proper singers within the voices.
Yeah.
But obviously Matthew McConaughey's back as Buster, Taron Egerton as Johnny the Gorilla. So I think that's probably my favourite, I think.
And they can both sing as well, can't they? Which sort of helps.
Well, Egerton does because he does. Yeah. Well, he sang Elton John in the first one, didn't he? And he's since played Elton in Rocket Man.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I wonder if that was the thing that gave them the green light.
Yeah, you think so? They've done a few things together. Obviously, they've done the second Kingsman film. Elton turned up in that, and I was listening to the audio book of Elton's biography, this recent one, and Taron Egerton was reading that. So they've obviously got a friendship.
I think I saw that they were on Graham Norton together, I think, and you could see that Elton was sort of very happy with what he'd done. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know the plot for Sing 2? Anything we should know about?
Yes. So they've succeeded in their singing careers within their town, but they want to take the next step up, and they're going into the big city to try and impress the wolf. I can't remember his name, but there's like the wolf owner.
Not at Wall Street, I assume.
It was Simon Cowell type music mogul figure that they want to try and step up to the next level and go on to this big show.
Yes.
He said they'll only have them if they can coax this old singer out of retirement. The voice for him is Bono. U2, so
all right.
He's playing him. So yeah, they've got to persuade this other one to join in, and so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm not the biggest fan of U2, but you know, I'm sure he does a good job.
Yes, yeah. No, I'm not the biggest fan either. They've done a few good songs, but I mean they've had longevity and they are very popular.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely. And also we've now got. I always thought that gaming films had never really took off, but now we've got Uncharted coming out.
Yeah, surprised it's taken so long actually, because you look at the plot to it. Not that it's too close, but Tomb Raider obviously had a film quite soon after that's release, and Uncharted is quite similar in that sort of adventure style and thing like that. So it does lend itself to a good plot of film, and there's been a lot of the games, isn't there? Not a close follower, but 5 possibly. I'm not sure.
I think there's been about 5 or 6 games now. Yeah, and they've been running over
the. That, so.
Yeah. I'll have to get them to confirm for me. Yeah, but why do you think sort of gaming moving into film is not all? There's been a lot of like bad ones.
Yeah, it's very hit and miss. You'll get some good and some absolutely terrible. Recent hits have been Sonic the Hedgehog.
Of course.
That did well. What was popular wasn't actually based on the game. Was it Ready Player One? Did you see that?
Yeah,
one?
But obviously very gaming
game
orientated.
Concept.
Yeah.
So that was quite popular. Obviously, Tomb Raider's films did well.
Yeah.
Uncharted should do well because you've got Tom Holland.
Yeah, big draw.
And Mark Wahlberg. So as the main two.
Yeah.
It's got this Indiana Jones adventure style setup. So it
does lean itself more into film, doesn't it?
Being the film than just based on the game. I'm trying to think of some of the worst ones.
I think was it Van Damme? He did Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter, I think he did.
Yeah, Street Fighter. Yeah, there's a new Mortal Kombat as well. I don't think that was particularly great, although.
And I think there's a Mario film coming out, Super Mario Bros. I think Chris Pratt is playing one of them. I can't quite remember if that is true, but I don't know what kind of plot that's going to be.
No, they did do one, didn't they, back in the early 90s?
Yeah, late 80s,
Super
early
Mario
90s. I
Brothers.
think it's up there in the sort of top 10 worst
Yeah.
creations in cinema history. I think Adam Sandler as well. He had Pixels, didn't he?
Oh yes, that was like a
few
variety
years
of
back.
games, wasn't it?
Yeah, another not big hit, shall we say?
No.
But yeah, I think you're right. Uncharted does lend itself with the Indiana Jones element.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about Indiana Jones last year a few times. You mentioned it a few times as something that was meant to be coming. Is that still on the cards?
As far as I'm aware, they were filming. Harrison Ford got injured, didn't he? I believe he broke a bone somewhere. Yeah. So that delayed the filming, and obviously other delays with everything that's going on. But I believe it's still on the cards, still in production. I mean, they've started it, so
you'd assume they'd finish it. Yeah. We also have Death of the Nile.
Oh yeah, really looking forward to that.
Great cast on that one.
Yeah, love the first. The first one, the Kenneth Branagh's.
He's a great Poirot, isn't he? Great Poirot.
He is. Yeah, that moustache. I remember watching the trailer. So I'm used to the David Suchet, like a little, and you see Branagh's moustache like this.
It's fantastic.
Grand moustaches.
Any plot details for the new one?
I know the whole story. I've seen it enough times.
Oh,
but how much do we give away?
Give me a little summary.
I read the book as well. So, it starts off. There's Lynette Ridgway. She's a wealthy woman. She's got a friend who's engaged, but then Lynette steals her fiance, and they get married. They go on a cruise around Egypt and go on the Nile. But Lynette Ridgway, being very wealthy, she's got lots of people after her money, or made after money, basically. So there's a dubious solicitor who's embezzling funds. There's the scorned former lover, and there's some other people she's upset on the route. So they travel down the Nile, and I think it's going to be a sticky end for someone on this boat.
Yes.
Don't want to give too much away. Title of the film. And Mr. Poirot has to solve the murder, but it's very ingenious how it's done. So very clever. Obviously now Kenneth Branagh's having a go, and same as the last one, they got an all-star cast. With this one, you got French and Saunders. So that'd be.
They're both in there. Yeah, the cast. It's kind of like a very random mix of sort of actors to put together. Is Gal Gadot is in it?
She's in it. Yes.
So you've got French and Saunders and Wonder Woman are both in this film.
Yeah. I'm sure they probably had quite a bit of fun when they were filming that.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's Emma Mackey from Sex Education, I think, is in it, which has obviously been a big Netflix series.
Yes, yeah.
She's the sort of younger actress in it, I believe.
Yeah, I believe I've heard that on WTW radio by a certain young man called Pete. That Emma Mackey from Sex Education is starring in it.
Keeping you in the loop. Absolutely. The trailer looked really good as well. I love how they sort of actually make Poirot look like a bit of a badass in this. The, sort of, the way he walks in, sort of controls the room. It's very, very good.
Yes,
Murder Mystery seems to be a big thing, except Knives Out 2, I think, comes out this year.
I know, I still haven't seen the first one. I planned to watch it. I didn't get to see it in the cinema, and my family watched it, and they said, you've got to watch it, it's really good. So every time I've gone to watch it on some streaming service, it's either just finished. I saw it on something once, I'll watch that next week, and they're gone. I still can't find it now. So I have to go the old-fashioned route and go and buy a DVD, I suppose. But I keep waiting. It's going to be somewhere on one of the channels to watch at some point.
But yeah, it looks like the murder mystery seems to be, a popular thing that people like to go back to.
Yeah, it's always very popular. It's quite nostalgic, I suppose, isn't it? When you've got the detectives and you have the big cast and the big names. Like the Knives Out, you've got Daniel Craig.
Of course, yeah.
So, people are drawn to lavish murder mysteries, definitely.
And keeping with Kenneth Branagh, it's obviously awards season we're coming into. We've just had the Golden Globes.
Or lack of Golden Globes.
Or lack of Golden Globes. But Kenneth Branagh's got his sort of biopic, I think, Belfast, which will probably be up for a few at the BAFTAs, I assume.
Yes, definitely, yeah. He did win the Golden Globe for screenplay writing for that. I think the BAFTA shortlist is out early February, so we're waiting on that. But definitely he'll be up for film, British film, writing, maybe an acting award or two.
Directing,
so imagine Judi Dench will probably be up for supporting actress. So she often gets crops up for that one.
I think she's got, it was 7 or 8 Oscar nominations, but only one win. So she's always in amongst the nominations.
But she works with Kenneth quite a bit as well, because she was in Murder on the Orient Express together.
Yeah,
they've done quite a few stage productions, so I think they're quite close friend-wise. So,
do you watch the BAFTAs? Are you a fan of watching the awards ceremonies?
I used to. I've become slightly disillusioned with them in the last few years, as I think many people have as well. I used to love the Oscars as well, but they're very long shows.
They are
so
long.
Certainly the BAFTAs and the Oscars, you miss the first hour or so and then come into the good stuff. I want to give it a try again. What's put me off, and it's going to sound strange, the last few years is what I consider really good films often get overlooked.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have been probably choosing films that they feel they should be choosing.
Yeah.
And some of the choices recently, you're not going to remember them in a few years' time. Whereas you go back to a decade, well, further back, like 90s, noughties, even further back than that, you would have big films will win, musicals will win back in the 60s, like Sound of Music and Oliver. And then I think back to, one of the biggest upsets was Shakespeare in Love beating Saving Private Ryan in the mid-90s.
Well, I think 94 was like a huge year, wasn't it? I think you had Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction. 99, you had things like The Matrix come out. Didn't even get a look in, despite it being revolutionary as a film. And this year, Dune isn't really in any of the awards.
No, so films like that get overlooked, and like the Marvel and stuff, and you can see some of them have got better acting performances in, but you don't get those big ones, don't always get a look in. I suppose they already get enough acknowledgement anyway. But I look back, I think Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King won lots.
That won 12, I think.
Yeah. And films like that don't seem to get looked in anymore, do they?
Even big film fantasy tends not to do too well. Yeah, fantasy tends not to do too well. Because I had this debate with my partner actually a few months ago about with the Best Actor award. Like I always think that the John Wick films, like Keanu Reeves is an insane actor in those films because it's a really physical performance. You've got to learn so much to pull it off. And I always think, how is that not just as good as someone who delivers a monologue really well?
Well, yes, because the focus is primarily on him as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's very close and intense. It's sort of,
and you've got to learn all those moves, all those skills. So I sometimes think the sort of speaking sort of gets more of a look in than the actual physical performance sometimes.
And often if you play someone real as well, often be considered higher.
They do like a biopic, don't they?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just thinking, has Keanu Reeves been nominated for?
He hasn't. I don't think he has, because there's sort of a stigma around him, really, isn't there, about him not particularly being very. But I think he's a very good physical actor. Yeah. You know, you think of The Matrix, you think of John Wick. You know, he's a really physical. Even Speed, Point Break. You know, Bill and Ted. These are really. These are films that people will always go back and watch.
The popular films.
So I guess it shows the awards aren't always the be all and end all of what makes a good film.
Just a couple of years ago, what put me off, I shouldn't say it, is The Shape of Water, and I thought that was.
Why did you not like The Shape of Water?
I didn't like it. No, I thought it was terrible. Absolutely tried it, and I said no. And like they're all like loving it, and I say, I just don't see it. So some films will win, and I can understand why it wins from a technical perspective and stuff. Yeah, that deserves to win greatly. That one I'd say no. And Green Book as well. How did that win?
Yeah, I'd agree with you more on that one. Shape of Water I actually quite liked. I was surprised it won because it's more fantasy.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Coming up as well, not just cinema, we have a lot of theatre screening here. What have we got to look forward to?
Event cinema starting again. So the Royal Opera House season continues, and we have Romeo and Juliet on Valentine's Day. So
lovely.
That should be good. It's the Royal Ballet performance though, so it's not your
right
stage.
And are these performances are they live when you're screening, or are they pre-recorded and then
mixed? The Royal Ballet and Royal Opera House are live, so they'll be beamed via satellite. A lot more than national theatres have been recorded recently and sent through, but they're always recorded live, and it's fairly recently when it will be done. So to be honest, we prefer that. It's much safer. If you've got your satellite transmission of a live event, there's a lot more that can go wrong. If you've got it here on your DCP recorded, nothing
can happen. Will go wrong. Hopefully,
From the satellite perspective, anyway.
And have you noticed more stuff being filmed because obviously COVID has hit the West End and Broadways and theatres really hard? So are they turning more to the sort of recordings in order to make up for that?
That was going to be the plan. We were told that going forward, the majority of the event cinema will be pre-recorded and sent out, but it hasn't been the case. It's still been half and half, really. So there's still an element of the proper live as to the recordings, and I think that's how they're going to go forward, to be honest. So, but the more recordings, the better for us. But some people would like to have that whole actual live element to it. So.
For those of us all the way down here who can't get to the West End of Broadway, it's really great. You've also got The Book of Dust coming out, which for those who don't know is the prequel to his Dark Materials.
That's correct. Yeah. Le Belle Sauvage. So Philip Pullman's setting up the Dark Materials. But I'm not really into the Philip Pullman stuff, so I can't really go more into it.
Have you read his books or?
No.
I
watched the Golden Compass film a few years ago, the Daniel Craig, Nicole Kidman. So that
with how you were talking about Shape of Water, the Golden Compass is like that for me. Just
that wasn't good.
It definitely did not do it justice.
No.
I remember getting Northern Lights as a kid. I was 13, and because I think it was meant to be like, if you've read Harry Potter, you'll like his Dark Materials. And no. I mean, in the books, they kill God. So it's not, it's not really, I think, on the same level as Harry Potter in terms of what you're reading. It's posed as a kid's book, but it's a lot of adult themes, a lot of dark stuff. I ended up enjoying it more sort of when I was about 20, 21 than when I was 12.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, it's a bit horrific for the young ones.
But that should be another good one to see.
Yes, and that's an event cinema one as well, so that'll be a theatrical production, which will be interesting because in a lot of the stuff now, certainly the Pullman, this Dark Materials TV show, which proved popular, to actually go back to seeing it on the stage.
It will be interesting to see how they do that. Any live music as well?
Nothing that I'm aware of. Obviously, I think it's all a bit dependent on what they're doing tour-wise and who wants to sign up to it.
You've always got that, what's his face that does the Via?
Andre
remember his name.
Yeah, I don't really count him.
He seems to, every year
he will be back because he just had his Christmas show. So he does one in the summer and one at Christmas time. So he will be back. So I was thinking more band-wise because we've had Westlife and Robbie Williams and Take That concerts and stuff, and they always do quite well.
Okay.
I had Green Day a few years ago as well.
Wow, okay, yeah.
So it'd be nice to have something like that again, actually. We haven't had a musical one for a while. Oh, on the subject of live, not here, but over Newquay, if you want to go over that way. Some people might even live over there.
Yeah, there are other cinemas.
Yes, Johnny Cowlin, live. So he will actually be in person there because they've got in the screen, they've actually got a stage so they can do some production. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
That should be really good.
Johnny Cowlin coming up, I think March or May.
Yeah.
So have a look online, the dates and tickets are all on sale there for that one. So that only just came to me then to drop that in soon on the live subjects.
Basically, lots to look forward to over the coming months ahead. We haven't even talked about the Batman in March.
No, save that for next time. So
I
think next time we're going to get Nathan to dress up as Batman or Robin.
It's a guarantee. It's on camera now. So yeah.
Or he could be a villain, I suppose, couldn't he? So,
I think he'd make a good Riddler.
He would actually.
A Jim Carrey Riddler.
Yes.
I could see Nath as a Jim Carrey Riddler.
Definitely, yeah.
So Nath, you're going to be Jim Carrey's Riddler for the next one, Joel Schumacher style.
Yeah. We are going on location next time though, so that'd be even more fun, wouldn't it? So, yeah.
And as always, all the details are online on
visit our website, www.cinemas.co.uk for up to the date listings and times. They get updated every Monday and go online after like 7 p.m. in the evening. And check our socials as well for up to date events and competitions. We're often running someone there to give away tickets. So
fantastic, good. Well, Will, it's been lovely to talk to you.
Yes, and you.
And
we forgot to mention.
By the way, Jackass hasn't ended. It's still there, forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
So if you do want to watch Jackass, that will also be coming out in February.
Yeah.
Good point to end it, I think.
Yes,
Going to pop it back to the studio.